What's up guys, it's Kitdale here from kitdaletraining.com. I want to bring you guys another video today talking about how to get good at Jiu-Jitsu really quickly, which is what you should want to do unless you're decided you want to learn something really fucking slow or you just don't want to be good. We all want to be good, okay? Now, I just started learning how to snowboard. And it's really interesting when you go back to starting something brand new and you start getting those familiar feelings of what it's like to be really shit at something. Sorry, there's a bit of dust in my way. And then trying to get good at it. And there was a couple similarities that I saw that I did in Jiu-Jitsu that really helped with my progression in snowboarding. So I did 3 hours of snowboarding the first day, and then I did about a whole day the next time that I came. And I probably got to the stage that would take most people a few weeks to get to, a few weeks worth of training. And there's a couple reasons why. First off, I crashed about 100 times, minimum 100 times, probably even more. And I was not afraid to crash. Not that I was trying to crash, I was definitely not trying to crash, but I wasn't limiting my experimenting by the fear of failure. I didn't really care. I didn't care what people thought of me when I crashed. And I kind of had faith that I wasn't going to hurt myself too much, especially coming from a jiu-jitsu and wrestling background. It's very easy to learn how to fall, especially when you're falling on the snow instead of someone trying to drop you on your fucking head. So that was a little bit easier for me to start off with. Plus you have a lot of strength and stuff like that from wrestling. So it definitely helps. Now, a couple things that I did really early. One is I couldn't take any direction from the start. Before I got there, anything that anyone said to me to give me advice in snowboarding went in one ear and out the other because I had nothing to associate that information with. That information was pointless. I didn't know where to place it and it meant nothing to me. Until I got on that board, and what I realized is that every single time I would fall, not every single time, sorry, most times that I would fall and something would happen, something would click and I go, that's what they meant when they said don't do this, or don't catch toe side, or don't do that. But before I did it, before I experienced it, it meant nothing to me. I couldn't learn from it. But once I experienced it, then I understood why they were telling me what they were telling me. But regardless, it was useless until I went out there and trialed and failed. But the biggest problem in jiu-jitsu that I see is what people do. Now, I went from white belt to black belt in 4 years without having any kind of background grappling experience. As far as I know, no one's done it that quick. Every other person that's done it that quick has some kind of background in something else. I think the closest, honestly, the closest to it would maybe be Orlando Sanchez or Gordon Ryan. I don't think Gordon or Orlando had any background in other sports, but I could be wrong. Most other people come from a background in wrestling or a background in judo or something like that before they started jiu-jitsu. So that gives you a huge fucking head start. So it's not fair to count that. Now, I went through the progression really quick and I was trying to break down as I was going through, why am I progressing so quick when I'm training half as much as what everyone else is? I'm not doing any of the drilling that everyone else is working so hard to do, but yet I'm progressing as faster than everyone else. And there's a whole lot of reasons which I break down in the Art of Learning Jiu-Jitsu Volume 1 and 2, but there's another reason that is very minute, but it's very fucking important and people forget this. The first thing people do when they go to jiu-jitsu is they want to be taught things. They want to be taught lessons. And it's not their fault. It's because we come from an industrial age model of education where repeat and regurgitation is the dictator of whether someone's really good or not. Your ability to repeat exactly what the teacher tells you to do without questioning them is going to dictate whether you're really intelligent or not. Now, that's the only area in life that fucking works. Everywhere else, it's like trial and error. You need to try things and you need to experiment with things and you need to come up with ideas and you need to fail a lot. The same thing is in jiu-jitsu. Now, one thing I did when I first started is I didn't really pay much attention to the instructors. Not that I didn't respect what they were saying. One, didn't really make much sense to me. Two, I wasn't interested in learning, them teaching me how to do it. The fun in jiu-jitsu for me was the problem solving. And I really enjoyed taking the ownership of my own game and figuring out the problems for myself. That was the fun part. And so it went really well with jiu-jitsu because I made a fucking shit ton of mistakes. I made so many mistakes. I made more mistakes in that short period of time that I was training than what most did because I was doing it myself and I was not afraid of trying something, experimenting with something, innovating. And a lot of time it didn't work. But every time it didn't work, I tried to learn from that. I tried to figure out what was going wrong. The same thing happened with snowboarding. I was doing the same thing. I just got on the board and I just said, I'm gonna try it. And I started trying to do it, bang, face plant, bang, fell backwards, bang, fell sideways, bang, fell into somebody else, bang, someone fell into me. That did happen too, fucking hell. But regardless, I fell so many times, but every time I did fall, I tried to figure out, okay, why did I fall then? What was I doing? And then after a while, it started making more and more sense. I started sort of cutting out all the things I shouldn't be doing and started leaving smaller areas for things I should be doing. And I started figuring out why they were saying certain stuff. But I had to fall, I had to trial, and I had to experiment to do it. If I had just listened to the instructors or my friends, what they were telling me, I would never get good. I had to experience it first. And the same thing should be done in jiu-jitsu. In jiu-jitsu, you're trying to get the best out of yourself. That can't be mechanical. No one can take you and get the best out of you. All they can do is expose you to an environment that hopefully gets you to get the best out of yourself. That's all you can do. You can try and do it any other way, and you can claim you've got a system and all this kind of stuff, but it's all marketing bullshit. The real thing is, if you look at anyone, and I tell you right now, look at anyone that says they've got some system and ask why every one of their students isn't as good as the top one or two. And most of the time, the top 1 or 2 or 3 have come from a different academy. If you look at most of the big academies, how many of them did they take from a beginner straight up? Usually 0. Most of them have come from different areas as black belts already to train together, and they've created a really good environment that they're pushing each other all the time. And of course, they're going to get really good. So there is no system that works for every single person. It is all about trial and error. You have to go in there, you have to play around, experiment, make heaps of mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and organically get the best out of yourself. Some people are going to naturally be really good at this. Some people are naturally not going to be really good at that. And that's just the way it is. Some people are better at something than what you are. There's people that are fucking great with paperwork. I'm shit with paperwork. There's people that suck with jiu-jitsu. I'm good at jiu-jitsu. And that's just the way it is. But the only way to find out is by going in there, playing around, making all the mistakes you can. But I'm telling you, if you're waiting for the instructor to teach you what to do, and if you're waiting for all these instructions and you're going to go in there and think that jiu-jitsu is like that, it's not like that at all. Jiu-jitsu is complete chaos, and your ability to problem solve through the chaos is going to dictate whether you're good or not. So make as many mistakes as you can. Take ownership of your game. Don't be too worried with what everyone else is saying. Just go in there, play around, have fun. And if you question everything, you're going to get better really quick. Socrates used to say that the key to human excellence is in questioning oneself and others. Your ability to question everything that you see around you and find answers for eventually is going to create a database full of massive information that you can use to your benefit. I know I move my hands a lot right now. I kind of look like a wizard, but it's just the way I do it. When I get excited, my hands just start doing things, okay? So watch out. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, check out my other videos. And if you would like to, go to kitdaletraining.com for all my products. I've got 8 products. We've sold over 10,000 copies. They're doing so good. You can see all the testimonials on there. That's about it. Anyway, say hi to your mum for me.